more time. Sometimes you gotta stay on your grind and show them that you never love. I don't think so. More time. Sometimes you gotta stay on your grind and show them that you never love. I don't think small, I think big and move heavyweight. And every step concrete, vision so loud, even silence speak. I was built before this day, picked the teams. I came from nothing, but a nerve of belief, and turned late nights into these permanent peaks. They still asking how, I just execute plans. And while they watching the wave, I'm controlling the sand. Big energy from your tits when I enter. I don't need introductions, the presence remember. Pressure never cracked me, it sharpened my center. I was forced in the dark and now I glow with no effort. I don't chase no moment, I bend time instead. And every loss paying interest, now I'm multiplying bread. I don't flex for approval, I approve what I need. If they question the value, I don't answer, I live. Big vision, I see past the frame. They playing checkers while I'm rewriting the game. I don't move off hype, I move off truth. That's why they call me harder than your loudest move. I've been quiet with power, that's the deadliest type. When the work's so real that you don't need to recite. They confuse my patience for me losing steam. I was stacking up leverage, building B.I.G. Big dose, no cap in my breath. I don't pay for the win, I prepare for the test. Every scar on my back and got a story attached. Every step I survive and put momentum on that. They talk legacy, I'm living in there. Every choice I make got tomorrow around. I don't build bridges, I build whole roads. So I elevate now, everybody knows what. I'm big power, you feel it before I speak. Even doubters go quiet when the truth is clean. I don't rush destiny, I walk it down. And when you solid like this, the whole world adjusts now. Yeah, think big, move big, stay big. This ain't luck, this is discipline. And what? If you still dreaming small, don't blink. Cause I just turn pressure into the B.I.G. and who? I grew up where ambition gets smothered by blacks, and where the dreams get wild and same hustles get watched. I learned man early, subtract big wins and multiply survival, divide the weekends. I speak code cause the streets ring me rugby. The mind stayed sharp like the blade freshly cut me. I don't talk through, I let the facts do the flexing. Rules on full pressure and big off these lessons. Cats talk money but don't work and soul. I send rich man trying to butt the life they hold. I move smart, never lie with my plan. You progress your moves, I advance like a man. The punchlines down to take your friend. The boss hit hard like a 38 mean. I don't need hype, y'all grew up with stress. And where I'm expected earn, don't beg or express. I've been dead broke, still rich in spirit. Now my words cost more cause I live every lyric. I don't chase clout, I'll chase the clarity. Too many laws trying to win popularity. They want shortcuts, I want the performance. I feel slow cause fast wins temporary win. I don't glorify grind, I survive and clean. That's the difference when you live with a rhyme and a scheme. I leave rivals confused when they calm demeanor. Smile real slight while I dismantle careers. I ain't evil, I'm honest with the venom attached. The truth hit harder when delivery snap. I've been threatened since the pad met the pen. The words recognize I don't need many friends. I don't sneak this, I don't have step tough. And when I say it, and in the sideway chalk. This is the big L record, you can bet I'll break it. No mistake, a nigga heading for greatness. And what you saying right now, cause I know that you patient. Waiting leave for me to get the job. Waiting for me now to hit your block. With a shot, black, that nigga he hot. To talk about the sun, now what you think that I got? Hold up now. By the way, I'm both voices here. I am the deep voice, and I'm the obviously my voice. This is the first time I did some shit like this, so I'm just vibing out right now. We'll get back to it.
I remember the nights with the fridge half bare, dreams heavy on mine, but no cash to spare. Scrolling through the feeds, filled world move fast, while mine time click slow, hope the last. I was broke on the block, still scheming away. Had a stack free game just to fit my day. Watch others shine while I stayed in the mud. I'm turning the dud to the god.
I was laughed at quick for the risks I take. Why you chasing the dreams and where the bills won't wait? But I knew in the soul I was built for more. Couldn't die in the loop of a broke man's chore. Every job I worked and put a chip in stone. Every check too small that made me cough my own. Took hits from the world, had to learn to fight. Had to build my will in the dark of night. Alright, vibe time over. I think I got an echo going on. Hold up. Yep, did have an echo. Alright, so a lot to process. A lot of people talking, a lot of nonsense. Just a lot of it. Just like like life it's a funny thing. It's a funny thing because you're technically on your own journeys as you go through life, and there's always people with opinions and whatever. So why I do this stream and why I decide to build in public is partially because of the opinions of others. Not so much that I care about their opinion, it's because there needs to be facts. And facts need to be able to be laid on the table, right? And hopefully, while I do this, I motivate you as well to one, put yourself out there, because the more you're out there, the more people will be motivated too. But two, as you are building things, you should build in public, right? Showing your mistakes, showing your wins, and showing how the platform scaled from A to B, all the way to Z, which may be your final exit, right? But for me, I don't really do this for an exit yet. I do this for the experience, and I love every part of the journey. So I wanted to start this stream by saying that. Thank you guys again for joining, but I got good news and bad news. All right, so let's get right to it. The good news, and I'll start with the bad news. So the bad news is I didn't finish the vehicle stuff yet. I did finish the rigging of it, like I said last stream yesterday, but I still gotta add the scalability there to allow you to change the collision and damage and all other cool stuff that happens, right? So didn't finish that. What I did finish though today, which is the good news, is the characters work somewhat. And what I mean by somewhat, you're going to see what I mean. And we probably all will have a laugh when you see it. But I did add myself to the game, and I did create the pipeline. I also had a great meeting earlier today to potentially do this partnership to bring in this 3D tool right into Manifest and give you guys unlimited possibilities of creating assets, right? But there is a lot more work to do. Looking at the date, it's literally the end of the 10th. We're at 9:46 ET. I don't got that much time, bro. I got till February 17th to have this thing released in Steam. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I'm probably like, at least from my way of building, if you know me, I do like 16 hours a day, depending if it's a good day or a bad day. Bad days, I could potentially do a little less hours. That means, no, I'm saying it wrong. Good days, I can do it a little less hours. I can actually get things done. There's no errors. Even with vibe coding nowadays, there's still fucking errors. I give
Anthropic a lot of credit for creating Opus 4.6 and all these different language models that are getting better and better at code. But if you're not good at explaining what needs to happen, the model is not going to do the best job. And especially the more complex the job is, the harder the model has to work, which can lead to a lot of errors. So that's not so much my problem. I'll just kind of speaking from a developer's mind. On bad days, again, a lot of errors and a lot of issues. Good days, not so many issues, less time that I got to focus on it, and I can move through different code. The problem though with this game is I can't just speed through. As much as I want to, I can't. Right? I have to make sure features work. I have to make sure the foundation is laid down because it's up to me to create this good foundation so you guys can create the games that you want to create. If the foundation sucks, you're gonna start building a tower, and that tower will fall. So can't have that. So what is this stream gonna show? So this stream you could expect to see the character pipeline that I built. You'll see me as a character in the game. You're gonna see some funny shit when I show you the character. It is what it is. There's a couple of things I gotta work on, which are bones and meshes. Meshes are less complicated than the bones, but to give you guys some insight, if you're a game developer or even if you're inspiring to create something similar to me, there is a couple of routes you can go with this. Now, with the bone specifically, it needs animation sets, right? So let's say you go on any platform, whether it's character creator, metahuman, Mixamo, fucking Maya, there's so many of them, right? And you create your 3D avatar. From there, most of these platforms do have like Unreal Engine plugins, which sometimes they work well, but in my case, it ain't working that well. So what I need to do is technically create like a standard bone structure for these type of characters. And yeah, that's gonna be a little bit of process, but not that long. I would say maybe 3-4 hours more of work of that. But once I have the actual foundation of the code and the skeleton, then I can go into okay, anything that's this type of avatar can use this character, no matter if it's male, female, etc. But that same thing has to happen with animals and other different types of characters, like it could be a Martian or a cartoon, etc. So gonna have to go through the list of characters that exist today, make sure I have a foundation for them, or at least one basic format of bone structure that matches the skeleton. As long as that's there, they should all animate very well. There's also movement, right? So Unreal Engine does come with its own movement. It has its own UE4 and UE5 mannequins that you can attach it to. But that's not working too well because the size difference, and you're gonna see when I show you in a second. It's just the sizing of it just gets messed up. I even try to bind it to a character I already have. So some of you have the demo, some of you don't. But if you do have the demo, you'll see that there's the Adventure Man in there, and I was trying to bind it to the Adventure Man, but the Adventure Man's a certain size. So if I bring in a character that's taller than that particular guy, it's gonna get fucked up. So you'll see when I share my screen where it's all messed up and things are a little weird. So yeah, that's basically where we're at. But either way, we're getting there. We are getting there. And some days may be slower than others, some days may be faster than others. But what's going on is the building and the journey of it, and I enjoy every single second of it. There isn't really any complaints from me. There's just a learning experience on some of the things that I may not know, or learning it to do it a little different than I expected, right? And most of it's the expectation, right? Putting the code out, go, okay, it should be working, and then you start the program, and it's like, nope. So, yeah, that's basically that. So let's just get right into it. I'm gonna switch my screen over, go right over to Unreal. I didn't check the audio. Probably should have before I started this. Let me do that real quick. Just make sure you guys can hear your boy. I don't hear myself, but I also don't have anything playing. Mic check. All right, cool. So you guys can hear me. Again, you guys that start chatting, just help me out. Let me know that shit's working or not. You know what I mean? So, anyway, let's get into Unreal. So maybe I should mute it. I won't, because you guys can just hear the music, whatever. It's 2 seconds. So let me log in as normal. It's still crazy that I fucking built this shit. Every time I look at it, I'm like, damn, I really built a game. And not even just a game, like an AI. And it's cool because like it's gonna connect to everything that I ever built. So
Welcome to Manifest Anything. How can I help you?
it's kind of cool. Um, this is a good update too. I did add some new maps. Not a lot, but I did add some new maps. Again, by some, I'm trying to do at least 25. I have uh 4. So no, wait, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Can't even count. No, 5. I'm bugging out. Whatever. So I have 5. I have 20 more to go. Um, Transparency, Utopian City demo map works very good. Underground sci-fi demo, it doesn't even make sense. You kind of get spawned in this block. So I gotta figure out why that's happening. Cause when you start to bring in your own maps or your pictures or whatever, the game has to understand like I'm looking at these types of objects and I gotta make them either with collision or not. I have to populate them with maybe assets I already have or recreate that asset in real time. So that's a whole process in itself. That is not a today thing to explain and go over, but it is something we're gonna have specifically on stream. The alien one, just to go over real quick, that one just a purple screen. Why? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. So I have to go through it again, go through the code, see what's going on with the rendering process, and see why it's compiling in that way. But the Asian demo, I gotta stop saying that. The Asian Village demo and the Ice Road demo are both working very well. Cars on the ice road are still dipping down into the road a little bit, and that's simply because I'm just not, uh, I guess you call it paving the road, or making sure that the road stays all the way through as one solid mesh. Because if there's any holes in the mesh in any process, it's like a pothole, and now the car will go down in that pothole because it's dealing with its own collision itself. So I have to make sure that works. But I think my main focus after the character thing is to make sure the vehicle scalability is there. Then I'll go back into maps and then build that all out. Then we're close to finish from there. So yeah, we'll keep going. I think I waited too long and it broke. La 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 la. Yep. Hold on. Let me just switch off, switch back on. It's a crazy, crazy day. Crazy day. Some things are working, some things are not, as you can see my process. Let me just reopen it. But yeah, that is basically the process of this game building. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of just mental shit, especially combining it with AI. It's like I have both sides of my brain constantly going at all time. The analytical mind of, okay, is this model doing what it's supposed to do? And the creative mind of, okay, I'm a player. Am I getting everything I'm expecting? You know what I mean? So it's a lot. It's a lot. But, if anybody's brain can do it, it's definitely mine. So I ain't tripping. All right, so I got Unreal back open. Let me just log in quick and do this faster this time. So now that I see what that happens or why that's happening is basically it knows it loaded up the maps, but in the background, if you know Manifest by now, it's loading
Welcome to
models
Manifest
behind it.
Anything. How can I
Right,
help
so
you?
those models sometimes overtake the whole game process because it's expecting the game to move at a certain speed. But I can dramatically change that and make that not happen. I just gotta give it more patience, right? But see if I just go right into the map and do it, it has no problem. So I'll fix that. That's honestly like a last over test that I'll do before the last shipping goes out to Steam, and then we should be good for release. From there, I'll be shipping out updates probably daily. If not daily, definitely weekly. Because what I do in a day is dramatic depending on what features we're working on. So yeah, we'll be able to do that. So so let's get right into this NPC thing. Right. So what's cool? I'm in the game. I am in the game. You have Adventure Man, you have the male robot first person, you have the stylized robot third person, and there's 10 other characters that are not here yet because I'm still testing them. But let's say I want to spawn me. So now you see this. This guy looks scarier than anything I have in the marketplace right now. Right off the bat. I don't know. I mean, I do know. I just explained it, right? I do know why it's happening. But why it's happening is because, yo, the long neck and the long nails are crazy. They're just crazy. But Why it's happening is because I'm matching it to the Adventure Man. So I'm actually matching it right now currently to this avatar. So this avatar, as you can see, is
Welcome to
perfectly
Manifest
fine,
Anything.
right?
How
So
can
I
I
could
help you?
control him. I just took his meshes off, but I could control him and, run around this character. I'm trying to do the same thing with my character that's floating on top of here right now, but he's just not the same type of character, right? One's character creative built, the other one is Unreal Engine built. So I can make a choice and start just making all of mine a metahuman and dramatically bypass that process. But then that kind of pushes me backwards, not forwards, right? I want to go forwards where everything in the marketplace is instantly rigged. The only way to do that is to fix this character. If I fix this character, then everything will auto rig. Now I have no problems no matter what you bring in the marketplace. It could be a monster and they'll always rig. So I'll work on that tonight, tomorrow morning, and they'll be working. By the next stream, you'll see it working. But yeah, I wanted to show you how scary this guy looked because it was scaring the shit out of me when I first saw it. Because he's not supposed to look like that at all, not even a little bit. Like he's a good horror character. It'd be kind of funny to have him. Maybe I'll keep him like that, not as the main character, but maybe as a scarier version of this character. If you want to make him into a horror, if you want to make a horror game and you want to have him as like the main protagonist or whatever you want to call it, like it kind of makes sense, right? So I might leave Long Neck over here as one of the options for you guys to choose, but he's scaring the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie as I'm looking at it. So yeah, that's my problem right now. The meshes, they all work. I removed the mesh from this Venture Man, so that's why it's not there. But even if you see right now, see how I'm like dipping down into the road a little bit? That's because I just didn't lay out the road all the way, but the road is long. It is long. So this is going to be a fun road to drive down just for you guys to be able to test your cars and see how the game works in certain ways. So that's cool. And then obviously you could take this, like he's even going, oh, I see what's happening now. There's no one here. So even as you guys are making your own games, like I said, you could take certain maps, mix and match them and put them together. You can put other things in top of it and create a whole new map out of it if you want. But these are just foundational maps that you can use obviously in your game if you want to have a driving scene or literally an interaction of you driving in a car and going from one destination to the next station one destination to the next destination by doing that. So that is the goal. But as of right now, bro, it's a lot. It's a lot. But we're there, bro. Like we're really there. And now on all the left, that's still pissing me off. I did not change that yet. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of these tools off on the left and I'm gonna add vehicle and character tools here. Right. So you'll have a character tool which will allow you to do different things with the character like meshes and stuff like I was telling you with health and things like that to really manage what the character is doing, especially if it's an NPC, right? We didn't talk about that feature as much. How I'm using NPC nowadays in these words is more of like you spawning a character to select or have it as a computer based thing where it's like doing some type of action, but I do want to have it living. So I do want you guys to be able to create like living games, right? Like living simulations. Like think the Matrix game where you could walk up to the guys and they have their own script based off AI. It's not like a pre-written script that we're giving it. And why that makes more sense for Manifest is because if I don't do that, then that would be your hardest part, right? Like your hardest part of creating this game will be the scripting because you will have to give it all the scripts that I'll need throughout the game. And depending on how big your game is, it could be a lot of scripting. Yeah, you can go on ChatGPT. Yeah, you can use Manifest to help you with the scripting, but I will add collision on there once it's done. And then you'll be able to modify the collision how you want. If you want the collision to be soft and a car crash into it, it won't damage up the car too much. But if you want to be strict and every crash means something, then you'll be able to do that in the vehicle settings. So that's where I'm at with that. Everything else, let me just test whether is it working on this. I have no coins. I know I should have added coins before I started streaming. I didn't do that. Let me do that real quick so I can just test. But I gotta log in. Crazy. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do with that is at least add up the character pipeline for you guys to be able to do that. So when you guys are creating avatars, or if I create an avatar for you, I'll also show you how to put it in the marketplace. So I'll walk you through the whole process if you're getting a free avatar. And then once you list it, it'll be under your name. You get 70% if any of the sales are, if anybody buys your avatar to put in their game, whether it's being used as an NPC or a main character, etc., they still have to purchase it no matter the usage, and you'll get 70% of that. So anybody getting a free avatar, I will show you how to do that. Let me see. I am spelling, bro. I think I'm just off today. Today is one of those days where you're just like not there. Like I'm there, but you know what I mean? Like it's not there at the same time. What else we got? All these authentication apps, bro. I gotta go in here. What is this code? Okay. Do. Did you even see the game? Wait. Oh, I'm looking at the stream now from my side, and I see that it's a black screen on Unreal, so that's really annoying. I didn't know that was happening. Literally explain again. See it now. Hold on. I think you guys saw it, right? I don't know. I don't really know. Because I see it now, but I also did a transition. So if you didn't see it, let me know. I'll just explain it again. Or I'll just go over to the character and show you what I'm talking about. But let me just add some coins real quick. Oh, I might have to close out the game again to do that. What's a faster way to do it? I don't even need coins, actually. I don't need it. I'll just go back to the game. So, yeah, I gotta fix Mr. Character over here, wherever he is. Where is he? Are you just floating in the sky? Like, he's like, where is he? Why is he gone? Oh, damn, I went that far. So, yeah, I gotta fix him. But you know what's good? The meshes are coming in. You can even see, like, the veins on his feet, which is good. So, it's working. It's just the bones are crazy. And even on the shirts, it's the bones are crazy. It's like ripping the shirt. So, he's got, like, some weird deformities going on where I'm not too fond of it. You know what I mean? He's just looking scary. So I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna get the character pipeline working, and then we're pretty much good for characters. Then it's vehicles, and then there's objects. But objects are actually a lot easier because they're really more static than they are like moving. They're not animated. Vehicles, oh, and weapons. Weapons is probably before objects. So weapons. So here's the downline. It's gonna be characters, vehicles, weapons, objects. Game done. That's it. Right? That's beta. And then from there, I will work on the orchestration. So instead of it like orchestrating what it's doing, it'll be more conversational. But at least for now, you can train your voice and have it orchestrate the game as you go along. Then eventually, yes, you'll be able to conversate fully with the game, and it will build in real time as you're doing things. So I can be like, hey, see this rock in front of me? Can you change it to this color, or change it to this material, or change this little pole that's red to the right and change it into this, or make it a traffic cone instead? So, and what's cool is that it'll highlight it. So see how like even right now, well, you're not seeing that. See how like this green highlight comes up? Obviously that means like this part of the map is selected. So this will show you in real time as you're speaking to it what's being selected and what's not. Same thing with the characters. You can tell them, hey, I want him to be all the way at this point of the game. But if you remember from last stream, I have to give the AI the ability to pinpoint, we'll call it that, or like kind of like longitude and latitude, you know what I mean, of a map. So it knows exactly where where you're talking about. And that gets more complicated the more the custom maps are. So it has to have the ability to line out and overlay all of the coordinates of that map. So then when you say a specific part, it knows, like, if you say put it over the house, the red house, and it knows the red house is at a whatever longitude and latitude within the map, it will put it over there, right? So that's the goal, to make that happen. But that's like, I would say like 4 weeks from now. Maybe a little less, but we see, like, like, I really got to launch, got to get players in. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions, a lot of things I got to answer, maybe some updates to fix some things, because again, you don't really know things are broken, or you don't know things are working perfectly until you have a lot of users using it, right? So I'm sure that at least a week or two of that will be happening, where I just got to fine tune and make sure the game is the best it could be. From there, we'll add more features to make it more and more engaging and interactive overall when you're creating your game, and then obviously the arcade to make sure people can play your game, right? So that all got to happen. But everything else is good. Everything else is good. As you can see, I love this map. I love the effects of it. I love the fact that the wind is going by, the snow is under it. We have a little snafu with the snow being in certain parts of the map, so I'm like sinking in. So again, if I'm driving a car, which, let me take the sound off because it's gonna be loud as shit if I don't. Oh, I can't add a car because I don't have coins. So now you see, the importance of coins. But at least all of you guys get free coins when you first start. I just been building so many projects, so I've been deducting my balance like crazy, and just now I just ran out, so can't do it yet. And I would have to restart Unreal and all that to do that, and I don't think that's important today. I think it's more important for me to fix it, show you that it's working, and then go from there. For me to just to show you me going into a pothole, which you probably can expect because I'm saying it to you, and also I showed it in the last stream, right? I was so excited that the cars work. I started driving and it went right into a hole, and I was like, oh, I forgot about that. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. It's the price of building alone. And I honestly, I'm not complaining. I love building alone. I really don't know how many developers I'm gonna have hiring for this. It might not be any, to be honest with you, because I'm very comfortable with this program. I'm very comfortable with building it. Um, I would say the only thing I wouldn't be comfortable with is the amount of questions and answers that I may have to have, and that's probably what I will hire if I need to. But ideally, with AI agents, I would just love to put an agent there. It's gonna be like technically like fact questions, like it's gonna be frequently asked questions that the AI can technically answer itself, and to build like a fact tool, or maybe even like a fact model inside of Manifest. So if someone's confused or you guys are confused as you're building it, it will answer that question as you go. So we'll see. We'll see. Things like Claudebot, like, if you're smart, I'm gonna give you guys some free game real quick. If you're real smart and you really like, even if you're just a vibe coder, let's just to say vibe coder, you can, and this is some very strong game, you can make what's called self-healing and self-developing programs. I'm not gonna say games. What you can do with the game, I will give you I'm not gonna give you the ability to put Clawbot in your game. Not gonna do that. But if you're building any type of program or software right now, even hardware, you can put Claudebot in it in a certain degree, where it's like the manager of that program. Free game. I don't know if I should go in full details in this, but let's go into a little more. What I mean by that is you can actually make Claudebot like many agents at once. So Clawbot itself can be the orchestrator, right? If you look at Self Lab's website, we do have 69 agent examples on there that we use ourselves. And you can look at how those are laid out, and you can see, okay, Claudebot can technically be all of these agents at once, right? But you need an orchestrator. You need someone that's the manager of the fields, or the manager of the floor, whatever you want to look at it as. Think project manager or construction manager at a job site, right? And that person is making sure all of the trades are doing their exact job at the right time and not crossing over each other depending on where they're at, right? So think about that when you're building these type of programs. You don't really need to vibe code it all the way through. You just need to get the right tools inside of it so it can build itself. And investors today are looking for tools like that. What stands out from other vibe coders and other people that can build platforms is it can it build itself? If you can figure that out in any type of program, I promise you'll become one of the most investable programs that are living right now. Everybody can vibe code. Everybody can go say a bunch of prompts and go ChatGPT or any of these language models and say, hey, I have an idea, I want to build this idea, and give me this PDF or a long prompt to get this program built. It is what it is, right? Like, sure, but what happens now when you do that? Someone's really good at Claude or these AI agents. They see you just built that, and now they're rebuilding your same exact tool in 30 minutes, and now you have a competitor. But the difference between you and them is you got to keep prompting yours. They don't got to prompt theirs. So ideally, that's where you kind of could see where I'm going with Manifest. But see, Manifest is a little more complicated because it's doing more than one thing. And it's not doing it in a way where, yeah, I can get it orchestrated to like talk to the four models so they can upgrade themselves there. So expect that. But over time, Manifest is turning into something else too. So I'll explain that about 6 months down the road, right? Because it's not a today thing. We should just focus on gaming and focus on like today, which is character pipeline. But I just want to give some insight on how to be different in this world of vibe coding because it's getting crazy out there. Like people are learning more and more about it. They're realizing how easy it can be depending on what tool you're using. If you're building a website, that shouldn't even be a thing to be hard nowadays. And if it is still hard for people, I don't know what the fuck you were doing for the last 10 years. I really don't, because website building's been pretty easy, even with just HTML code for a long ass time. And drag and drop platforms existed for a long ass time as well. So if you're still sitting there vibe coding, that is great. I mean, if you're still sitting there like really dragging and dropping and taking a lot of time trying to build your shit, that's just a problem. So look, understand vibe coding to its highest degree and strive for self-healing, self-development. That is my free game. Because if you do that, I promise you will succeed faster than you think. Because these AIs are a lot smarter if they have the right direction. So stop system prompting language models, start system prompting AI agents, get them together as a group. I've shown this example many times. If you want, I can do a stream specifically on this and show you exactly how to set up Claudebot to do that. I just don't know if I should because it'll get in the way. But if you guys ask for it, I will. You know, we'll do a whole separate hour for it. Not today, definitely within a week or two, and I will show you how to do that. But yeah, that's the move. And in any platform, let's just go a little further detail. Any platform you want to build, it doesn't matter what it is. You could be an assistant, it could be a music platform, it could be Amazon competitor, but why you're better than Amazon? Because yours is self-healing and self-developing. And what I mean by that, like it's building its own code. It sees its own errors before it hits those errors, and it's healing it itself. It's literally saying like how right now I'm in the game and I'm telling you and I'm seeing how choppy this shit is. So I'm gonna fix this because for the next stream though, Unreal is just big and it's running a lot on my CPU. And then I have obviously stream going. So it's just too much going off on my CPU and GPU at the moment that everything's choppy. It's like Zoom on steroids, right? So um but even this, like see how like I'm ducking in the map? I could have an agent that's just looking for this type of shit. And every time I add code to it, it's excited. Like, oh, you added something new that I could fix. You know what I mean? So think of agents like that. You can't think of agents as your servants all the time. They're more your partners. They're more like the developer you always wanted but never listened. You know what I mean? Like we all work with a developer that just don't fucking listen. You know, you're like, I want this, and they do the opposite. Or I expected this and I got that. So I understand that because I've been on both sides of that. And trust me, being a developer is not easy. Most people think it's easy now because they can vibe code. It's never been easy. It's still not easy. But someone like me that strives to be better every day and strive to see like, okay, how can I improve on what already exists, or how can I create something completely new that don't exist. I come across a lot of these like new ways of doing things by doing that. That's why I love, doing self labs, because there's always research. So, and development obviously, because that was always me. But the uh the cool thing about that is, again, yeah, think of a self-healing thing, and I will do that with manifest. And when I do that with manifest, I'll show you exactly how I did it, because I do have a couple ways of we can do it now. Like even with the maps, I just literally got to get all the foundation of the game done, and then I can literally get it to the self-developing, self-healing point. And then you'll see like maybe 25 to 50% of the game is self-developing and self-healing, but it's a little sketchy to do that if it's not tested right. So I gotta take some time to test that, make sure it's doing things correctly, because this is a little more complicated than a website or even a language model or model generation platform, right, where it's generating something, generative AI, right? This is generative AI, but it's using generative AI in a game engine that's already fucking complicated. So it needs to understand all those nuances, and the communication process has to be seamless. So I have to test those pieces, put them together as puzzles, and then I'll probably have a good puzzle laid out, but I won't be able to do that if I don't finish the foundation. So, character pipeline 101, AI agent 101, Claude bot, and sentience 101. You go on our website, Self Labs, you see I've been talking about sentience for a long time, at least a year now. And I think you guys see what I was talking about. Wasn't that hard, was it? So, for the people that doubted, I don't know why you doubted, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Like sometimes you only can believe what you see. So that's why I stream. Because if I don't stream, and if I was just talking about manifest, it'd be, oh, that's bullshit. You didn't build a game. You didn't do that. You didn't. No, no, no. And it's just a bunch of haters. You know what I mean? So like, I stream nowadays, and no matter what I'm building, look at my channel as a place to learn, to see things built in real time, and also to see everything that I've ever built. Because I think I should have been did that for like the last 10 years. Even if Twitch wasn't big and streaming wasn't big, I should have did it. I really should have, because it's a good archive, right? Like now you guys can go back to different streams, like episodes, right? And that's kind of cool even to me, where I'm like, wow, like I can look at the first episode, let's say, of my first stream back and now, right? Like when I first came on stream, it was just the Asian Village demo. That's it. And barely had some meshes. Now the Asian Village demo was pretty much done. And now there's new maps with cool little effects going by. Even though it's probably choppy for you, it's pretty fast for me. You know what I mean? So it's cool. It's cool. It's cool to really like see things progress, and I want to really motivate people to do things because they can, especially if you're creative. A lot of people want to be creatives, and that's the problem because you got to know your spot. But the ones that are creators, it's just your time. It's your time to shine. And I ain't a hater. I ain't stopping nobody from shining. You know what I mean? As long as you don't get my way, we're good. Like, got no reason to stop you from doing your thing. So, yeah, character pipeline 101. Oh, and this drag and change material menu. I hate the colors. Just being real with you. I have the colors there because I just need it to work. And I told you even before, I honestly hate like 90% of the design of this game because it just could be nicer. So that's gonna be Wednesday. I'm gonna even stick to my word with that and say, okay, stop everything, redesign everything on Wednesday, no matter where I'm at, right? And then at least that's done, and then wherever else I got left, I have to do. If we're talking 7 days from now, what is it, Tuesday? Oh, I can't even do it Wednesday. That's crazy. So no, I'd have to do that Friday. Yeah, I have to literally finish most of it by Friday, which is crazy to think about because it's Tuesday. I got Wednesday, Thursday. I can knock out a decent amount of it. That's 32 hours, I'd say. A decent amount can get knocked out. If not all of it. I don't see me having a problem with the character longer than, like I said, 3 or 4 hours. Then the vehicles are done. It's just that sliding scale that's gonna take 20 minutes, and then the redesign. That's not that much, Maybe let's give it 5 hours, and then I got the weapons, which is gonna take an hour. and then the objects, which is going to take an hour. So I might even be able to add some features to it too. Like even like the voice thing and make it conversational. It's not important right now for the beta, but I might be able to add it. If I have time left, I'll definitely hop on stream and I'll show you like what I'm doing next. Like I'll show you obviously everything that's done, show you that okay, the beta is ready. It's gonna be on Steam. Once it's released on Steam, you'll be able to grab it, whatever. But when I get some more time, and I feel like if I have some more time left, I'll definitely show you some more things that we can do with the game overall. And then, of course, like I said, my promise was playing AI LA and then just comparing, contrasting the games in a way of, okay, let's try to make a game just like this, but I got to play that whole game to do that. Or at least, like, I don't think I'm going to be able to have Unreal open in that game and stream. It's going to be too much on my computer. So I'm going to literally have to either beat the whole game and, like, remember what I'm doing, or maybe we can do a part by part. So we can say, like, when it goes from gameplay to cutscene, we'll save and then we'll come to manifest and see if we can generate that same exact experience. And I think that's a little smarter because then I'm not like overdoing it at once, not forgetting anything as I go, and it'll be fresh in my mind on what I just did. So I'll be able to prompt it and go, hey, I want you to do this, this, and this, you know, and have it go. So that's the move, I think. And yeah, what else? What else is in here? Prompt history, I'm gonna keep that. What am I gonna take out? Auto build and auto fix. I gotta take some time on that too, but that's only an hour. But auto build, obviously that's when you prompt the game to build some shit. But auto fix, if that was working well, I should be able to hit that. I don't think it's working right now. Yeah, it's not. So if that was working, then I would be able to hit that right now and it would fix the road for me. You know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be a whole AI agent that does it. But again, imagine if that button worked and there was an AI agent, then the AI agent would just be clicking the button. He's not really doing any code. He just knows the button exists. Right? So instead of me manually doing or you manually doing as you're playing your game, it will see like, oh shit, let me hit auto fix because I just watched them crash into a hole that's not supposed to exist. You know what I mean? So that's reasoning. And when that reasoning comes in, that's when Self OS is supposed to be connected to this game. So if you know anything about Self OS, again, it's a decentralized data center. Been building that for a while, and the whole purpose of that is to get people rewarded for, you know, having AI in their phones and eventually data too. I didn't go out over that data. I know people heard me talking about data for like 5 years now, and I did not leave that point. It's just the AI companies don't really care. So yeah, I had to convince them another way. So this is what we're doing for now, and we'll get back into that. But at least for, you know, Self OS users, you can expect to get rewarded from things that come from manifest, because the more reasoning that has to come from manifest, that will connect the two. Even though the models themselves live inside the manifest game, the thinking process doesn't. I did that on purpose so the Self OS users can get something out of it, right? And it's smaller. It's not generating anything 3D. It's just helping it think, right? So think like, who wants to be a millionaire, and you got that one phone call. That's what that is. So yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. And it's crazy, yo. It's crazy. This all came from your boy's mind. Like, I literally don't have a reference. I wish I did sometimes, but I really don't. Like 90% of shit I build, and I'm not just talking shit, I really do not have a reference. There isn't a book for this shit. So sometimes you just gotta give me credit, and sometimes you gotta give me a little patience. You know, like sometimes it's just gonna be things that work, things that don't, and I'm saying that because I don't want people to get debating, go, oh, this shit didn't work, and blah blah blah. Like, expect it to get done, expect it to get better. Like, it's just, I'm not gonna build this as some large ass team right now. I want to create this pact between us where I go on stream or I'm in certain locations and we can talk about the game in a more personal way, parasocial relationship. You know what I mean? Where you guys can know you can say certain things to me, and especially if it's a vote and everybody's like, okay, I want this, then that vote enacts the development to happen, which will be me sitting down and doing it, or an AI agent once it gets to that point. But as of right now, it's going to be me. And I want you guys to be comfortable with that, because that's how I'm building these companies nowadays. It's not so much boards, investors, and all these other people with opinions that really don't do shit. It's more of getting the community of your hive mind together now to say, okay, what do you guys want? And as you guys vote, these AI agents are ready to enact those actions. So that's the whole purpose of what I'm doing and building these engaging platforms to eventually show you like life can eventually go down this angle where now we are the voters, the AI agents, and AI is the enactors, and we should be able to live in harmony. Shout out to Harmony, the platform, by doing that. So that's why all these words, they're all named these things for a reason. I ain't just, shits and giggles pick some names out of nowhere. Like if you look at the nitty gritty of why things are named certain ways, there's a reason for that. So yeah, add object. Obviously, you guys know works. Environment settings work. Time of day works. Weather works. Lighting presets work. Terrain tools works. Speaking of that, hold on. Huh. Okay, that's the way around it. I could do that, but I'd rather do it through the code. But I could technically walk through this whole map. Yeah, but see, that's gonna save it for me. So no, I can't do that. Fuck. But that's how you would do it. So like, let's say right now, if I didn't do anything to the code, you would go and do flat terrain, and it will flatten the surface. So the holes that are here, it'll fill in those holes because it realizes there's two meshes, right? So there's one mesh below the mesh, meaning right here. See how I'm lower in the ground? That's because I'm literally in between meshes right now. But if I flattened it, I would be able to stand on top, right? So here just needs to be flattened. That's it. So that's what you would do in game, but that's also what the AI should be doing for you, unless you want that hole there. But then you should tell the AI, make it a hole, don't make it a street where it's a hidden hole. You know what I mean? So when people are driving out of nowhere, they just fly into the thing, especially if you're speeding and you got like, if I had high damage on right now and I was speeding, I would blow up. Straight up. Like the car would blow up. If I was flying too, and there's a decent amount of cars in here that are fast. Sports car is fast. The hatchback, so it ain't the fastest. Pickup truck can get there. It can get there. Oh, I got out a speedometer too. But yeah, like it can get there. And why I'm saying that, because the speedometer, I wanted to be able to show the speed, and I want you guys to be able to change that. In the menu too, that's another thing I gotta do. So this screen here, I don't like it. Just start with that. I don't like the design of it. So don't make fun of me here. Like I don't like the design at all. But I want to make it a little nicer where one is probably more in dark mode. So it's black. Buttons look a lot nicer, and there should be more buttons. You need more than just adding a menu button, adding a background of video. And then you also need to be able to, what am I trying to say? You have to like set the button to certain features. Like settings has to be settings, and it needs to know that it's the settings of the game, and it has to attach that to all of the game. Right? So like if you're like, for example, you know how you could change the brightness of a game? Like that has to be in there, but has to understand that that's a setting that you're implementing into the menu. So now when someone's scrolling through your menu, they go to settings and they do that, it will do that. Same thing with sound, same thing with graphics. All of that can be changed if you add that as a button here in the menu. So that's going to be its own thing, but it's not going to take longer than an hour to do it. So I'm not tripping over it, but it's still going to take its time to do whatever I'm doing. But yeah, I want to build, bro. Like, so I don't know how much longer I'm gonna stream, but I keep looking at this character and I'm just like, damn, like I'm almost in the game, but I ain't got a long neck. I don't think I got a long neck. Y'all could tell me, but I'm pretty sure my neck is normal. So it's like that guy over there is not a good representation of me. And what's crazy is that his torso is way longer than his legs. And that shit honestly doesn't make sense to me, because when you look at this character, he's like perfectly proportioned, meaning the guy I'm controlling right now. So you would think the two skeletons would work. But that's what I mean by Unreal. Like, that's just not how Unreal works. Like, Unreal literally wants its own animation set and skeleton for that character. So my only way to not do that, because obviously if I did that, there's a limited amount of characters. So how do I, like, if you buy something from the marketplace, how do I make sure it's rigged? So the only way to do it is to create a baseline animation and skeleton that can match every time, like a puzzle, when you bring it in. And it's basically like an overlay. Think mannequin, right? It's like a mannequin of each type of character you're bringing in. That mannequin already has the animation, already has the rigging, and it's just matching that mesh to that. So it doesn't have to take your whole FBX, doesn't have to take your whole GOB. It just takes portions of it. You can even take the JSON version of it and attach it to the mannequin. So, like I'm saying, this is thinking, heavy thinking going to this shit. I ain't just like building something out of fucking scratch and going, okay, look, I did it, yay. Like, nah, that's not what's happening. I'm really almost overthinking. Like, I bet most people would be like, yo, you could have just did it like this and it'll be easier. And I'm like, yeah, but I think 6 months down the road from now, like, if I cheap out and skip some shit, then in 6 months, either you're gonna find it's a problem, which is bad and worse, or I'll know it's a problem and then gotta fix it at some point anyway. So why not just be transparent, explain the problem, say, hey, I know this exists. I'm gonna spend this much time to build it. Once it's done, boom, there'll be no problem in 6 months. You know what I mean? So that's the move. But on the left, like I said, I was about to say, I didn't finish saying my statement when I was saying before. I don't like that use stuff. Like, I'm doing it right now because of me making sure that the AI is taking certain prompts. And even if I show you this output log, which you probably can't see on stream, you can see like all these logs going through right now. Right now, it's just waiting for more background music. But it, like, there's the four models constantly running. So I had to add like that overlay on the left to make sure the text of the stuff that I'm saying is hitting the right model. And the only way to do that was to put it visually there and then check the output logs to make sure it's actually reading the exact message I just sent. So that's a development thing, but I'm gonna take that off so that's not just sitting there. And in your prompt history, you'll see all your prompts that you said, the stuff that it technically said back to you that may have either been in voice or through text. Because most of the time when you're asking for actions, it's not gonna say something back unless you want it to, but it doesn't need to. Like, if I say make it rain, you can have the game say, okay, making it rain right now. Like, you can, but it doesn't need to do that. And especially for beta, it won't do that, just being straight up. But it probably will as it gets more conversational, and then you'll be able to tone down a conversation. That's called temperature and stuff with a language model. So you could turn that down if you want. I'm not gonna name it that. I'll make it something way easier to understand. But yeah, like that's basically where we're at when it comes to that stuff. And I don't know what else I'm missing. How long we been streaming? It got 58 minutes in our belt right now, which ain't bad. Which ain't bad. And 101 of you in here, which is pretty good. Um, what else? What else is your boy missing? But yeah, I mean, other than the characters and the sky floating up, looks like an alien. Let me take control of him. Let me see what he does. Can't even. Why is he? Oh yeah, this is weird. Oh yeah, this is weird. Does he jump? Yes, he jumps. I can't even see him. That's how big he is. He's literally bigger than the whole screen. Where'd he go? Oh, he's up there. Oh, is he floating up regardless? Hold on, let me put him on the street. Wait. Oh yeah, oh, that's why I can't see him, because he's literally floating in the sky like an alien. Alright, so I might not have to do the mannequin. I might have the fix already done. This might be purely mapping. Like, it might not need the whole. I'll look into it. It might not need the whole skeleton or mannequin that I'm talking about. I mean, I do need that regardless, but at least for CC4 characters, I might be able to match them to metahumans. And metahumans already done, so as long as the code is like doing that, then we're good. But I might as well just do it, because it'll be seamless if I do it. If I cheap out, like I was just saying before, so let me not cheap out. If I cheap out, then you might bring in a character that's bulkier than this one, and then it can instantly break. So let me not cheap out and just make sure I do the mannequin right. And also, like, I don't want any rips in the t-shirts because I'm sure you guys are gonna bring in some more realistic. Oh, I took his meshes off, so now you can't see. But and that's a problem too. Sometimes double clicking removes the mesh, so I have to fix that. That's not a hard problem to fix, but I do gotta fix it because I know you want your meshes, you want your character to look like your character, not like a plaid mannequin. You know what I mean? So that's an easy fix. His bone structure is good from his build. It's just his body. Even though his body's looking a little different. Am I bugging out? Did it fix? Huh? No, his arms are still bent crazy, but his neck looks different. No, it don't. I'm lying. He was just. Can I bring him with me? No. I'm gonna add the drag for the characters too, cause that's not moving. But yeah, we got some stuff to do. We got some stuff to do. Definitely this week though, you'll see a dramatic difference of this game, cause you're gonna see some rapid development. Cause I already got like a lot of it done. I'm just not compiling the code all right away. So once I compile some bigger compilers of the code, you'll see like dramatic changes. And hopefully no more long neck. Can't really say the word I want to say because the stream does get posted on the Manifest website. And as I told you guys yesterday, all of your streams will. I'm not going to be strict on content. I just really care about you playing Manifest as you're using the Manifest category on Twitch. And then we'll post it. I don't want you to be too outlandish and crazy. Don't really matter though. But obviously, if you're breaking TOS on Twitch, then you ain't gonna get on there anyway. So it is what it is. Like as long as you're following Twitch's rules, then you're following our rules. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I can say the word I'm about to say, but I want to say it. I want to say it, but I'm not gonna say it. I want to go down this way real quick because I don't think I did, and I want to just make sure. I want to just make sure. Oh yeah, there's holes all over it. He's running for a decent amount of time. No holes though. Oh, spoke too fast. And then I'm gonna add some more walking sounds too. I think duck is missing. How far out does this go? Oh, okay. Can't go up here. Can't go up here. Can go up here. Keep going. Alright. He's fighting. I mean, he got up pretty high. Oh, and then the water. Oh, I don't have swim. That's another one. I gotta add swim. Swim is a big one. And I need different types of swims, and that's all motion. That's what I was saying before. Like, I really am truly considering. And if you guys seen ByteDance's new AI model that they have in China right now, the video one, it's insane. But now, low key, I know what they were doing with TikTok. And I didn't catch on until today, honestly. And it's funny because I've been saying that myself, like, oh, you guys can just post TikToks and we could take the TikTok and create motion out of it. That's what these motherfuckers were doing with the video one. So they literally took all of those. Again, it could be a claim. Let's just say allegedly. Allegedly took all of those videos from TikTok and trained their model on it. And I don't know how you guys feel about that because remember when I was talking about data? Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Situations like that. Now you got this super strong ass model that can generate anybody in a video, but you ain't get paid not $1 or cent for that to exist. I don't know why that makes sense, you guys. But that's what you guys want. So it is what it is. If you don't want that, go on Self Labs, go sign a petition, and we'll go talk about that later. But in the meantime, we're going to talk Manifest and keep going. But yeah, like, whoa. What? We could eventually do that, and maybe I will do it for beta because I'm getting tired of creating new things over and over. So if I did create it one time where I can take in the motions of a video, I could potentially take a motion video of swimming, for example, and animate that for an avatar. So let's say you were swimming in a pool and you were swimming underwater, and I saw a clear view on how you flapped your arms and your legs, obviously, like as you were going. Then I'll be able to take that motion, animate it, and then it'll be available as an animation for the characters. So now when I say, okay, it needs swim, that video you just created would be the swim animation. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's basically how that would work. So you'll be able to do that and literally do actions throughout the whole life, because you would have to reenact life really for me for the game. And as you guys are doing, that's living in the marketplace. And now if someone says, oh, I want to add swim to the game, they would have to buy your animation. And I think that might be the move than me just creating all the. I do have to create at least one baseline so it's available, but there's different swim techniques. You know what I mean? Like everybody don't swim like Michael Phelps. Some people do similar, right? But he has his own style of swimming, for example. Or even for like basketball, like everybody don't shoot like Steph Curry. So even if Steph Curry like took his motion, put it in a game, and now someone's building a basketball game, that motion could be available as an animation later for that character. So now if they have their own NBA 2K or NBA Street or whatever type of game they're building, that shooting animation would be available for that character or whatever character they're building. You know what I mean? So that could be cool. I'm not gonna do locations yet, so you won't be able to take locations of your house, for example, and put it on the marketplace and do that just because of safety. Um, don't want to do that yet. You'll be able to do it for your own games and your own private sessions. That's fine, but it won't be a public marketplace thing for now. I do need to go over some legalities on what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. So I'll get into that, but as of right now, definitely the motions is needed. So if you guys want to get into that, go to the marketplace. Um, Thursday. Thursday, I have it up there. Thursday, I should be up there, and you'll be able to upload a video. It'll instantly turn it into an animation, and then you can list it in the marketplace as one of the assets. And then once you log in, or you should be logged in while you're uploading it, you should see your assets there. Set your price, and then do it. I'm gonna add a price estimator too. Not so much to tell you like how much the coin to dollar conversion is, but more of like what we recommend it to be sold for, you know? And that will change over time, obviously, as there's more players in the game. But I'm just going to base it off of marketplaces today. Like, what is a current marketplace selling a Steph Curry shot for? You know what I mean? Or that type of animation. And let's say it's $10, then we would tell you to do it in this many coins. You list it for that many coins, and now we're at least market price. Once we start having more and more players, that can change dramatically because it could be based off of usage. So we may say the usage is really high for this. We think you should charge this, and we expect you to get this many sales from this type of usage we see today. You gotta be careful on that type of wording. Obviously, we can't make a promise, but we can at least say here's an estimation of what we think on certain things. Right? We can't tell you an estimation how much money you're gonna make because that's going into like laws, regulations, and we don't break those. But like we gotta figure out the way around it to make sure it makes sense, so you understand what to expect while you list your game and these different. I mean, list your assets and these things, and of course your characters. We're gonna need more of those. Even with our 3D partnership, we're still gonna need more of those because they're not doing humans that good yet. Just to be transparent, they are doing everything else though very fucking well, like very well. Any of those fantasy characters or any object or cars or any of those things, that platform is very good. That's why I'm not building a text 3D model yet, because I'm expecting that partnership to go through. If it does, thank you guys. But I am expecting that partnership to go through because if it does, it dramatically helps all three of us, me, them, and you, right? You because you can now generate so many different things. Them because they just have another place to put their platform to be showcased and also to obviously make revenue with us, and us because now we have the possibility of this game being one of the biggest games ever created in life history because it's going to create every game. That's my goal. no matter what game you've ever thought about or played or seen. They'll be able to make, not copying it, but having a rendition of that type of game that you may want. So that's the move. But I think we about at the end. We about at the end. I don't know how far we are at the end, but we about there. We about there. Mr. Longneck over there, he gotta go. He has to go. Like today. I can't even go to sleep knowing Longneck is in the game. I really can't. I want to. I'm tired of shit, but like I don't sleep if I like shit like that's like happening. You know what I mean? Like my brain's too active, so I'll just be like, yo, Lord, like I'm not playing. I'm dramatic. Well, I'll wake up 4 in the morning and be like, nah, Longneck's still in the game, and like either not fall asleep right away again, or I'm back on the computer and build it again because I'm like, nah, he gotta go like now. You know what I mean? Like this problem, this is gonna piss me off too. Like I didn't know it got this deep. That is deep, and actually because that's what a road breaks. But it's weird that it took this dip by itself. Like what is going on? But see what I'm talking about? It's between two meshes, so I'm literally in between the road and the snow where the snow is good that it's there because it's stopping you from falling all the way to the ground forever and eternity. But it's bad where it's supposed to be a road there. So, again, gotta fix that. And this is, I think, where the eternity starts. Yeah, yeah, that is the end of the map. This is the edge of the earth. So we're not gonna go there. But, yeah, don't drive that way. I'm gonna block that off for the demo so you guys don't drive off. And I'll make sure you guys don't fall in these random holes that are just chilling. I'm gonna look at chat. Nothing on chat. Okay. You guys are the most silent chat in the world. I'm just saying. Like, in the world, bro. I've never seen such a silent chat in my life. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just not engaging enough. I don't know. I don't know. But, I'm sorry. I'm, like, going back and forth. Oh, and sprint. It's another one. Yo, yeah, you guys gotta give me some motions. You guys gotta start making some motions. I'll make it extremely easy to make these motions, but even to think about sprinting right now and like I have two choices, creating it myself or, you know, buying it from the store, any of these 3D stores. I just don't want to. I'd rather you guys create it and then like we just profit share some shit, like, cause this is crazy. There's a lot of assets to create. And it's gonna be daily. There's always gonna be more assets. He almost just like broke his legs in the wrong ways. Just trying to see how far this goes. And I don't like the sound. It's too consistent. I would rather when the footsteps are going, it's like duh, 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 duh. Like it's almost not on pace with his feet. And I want it to be, at least for the bass line. You can make it whatever you want, but for me, I know, okay, the game as a bass does it like this. If you change the speed of the sound, or you make it slower, or deeper, or whatever, or make it mud included, that's on you. But for the bass, I want it to be like perfectly aligned with the feet. Because even see, that's one step, but he's not taking a hard step. You know what I mean? So like that's a hard hit for the game, and you can't even hear it, but I'm gonna put it on so you can hear it. So yeah, he's like, it's off a little bit. It's like duh, 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 duh. And I'd rather just, like I said, be on point. So I'm gonna add that too, and I'll be done with additions for now. I don't want to jump in this water, but I do. But I feel like I'm gonna fall. So if I do fall, we know I gotta add swim. He's definitely not gonna swim because I didn't add it. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna run in the water. Cool. Jesus. It's literally Jesus. Oh look, there's birds. The birds work. Wow, that's crazy. I'd be amazed at my own shit sometimes. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like a lot of it, like it's like, damn, like I didn't think all that was gonna work, but it did. And it's pretty animated pretty well. Oh. I I just saw the birds don't. I'm not really supposed to be this close to them, but I could make the graphics of these birds a little better. So I'll do that, and I'll see this boat. I would like to be drivable, so maybe I'll do that. I don't think I made boats active yet. I don't think I did. So I will do that too. That's on the list. And yeah, that is pretty much the game so far. So priorities, again, to say one more time before closing, before leaving this stream. Let me close this out. Let me put myself back up to the main screen. Boom, transition. Okay, so the moves are: fix the character, no more long neck. That pipeline works, all the characters will work. Second, go back to the vehicles, make sure the collision and scalability is there so you can add more collision, or you could take away collision to make sure that it works. Or no, I make sure that it works and that you have the ability to change it when you need to. Third is weapons. Make sure the weapons are shooting, the shooting sounds are working, and to make sure the ammo systems are working as well. So as you want to add more ammo, or you have your own ammo set in the game, you know how like Resident Evil gives you a gun with only a certain amount of bullets and you got to find those bullets. You got to be able to set that in the game yourself when you're creating the game. So for me, I got to build it out so you can set it. Objects, that's going to be after the weapons. Then it's not site design. It's going to be game redesign, not like the features, but the way it looks UI standpoint. Once that's all nice and dandy, we're going to go to Aya, and then we're going to play that, like I said, one chapter or one checkpoint, whatever you want to call it, and it'll be checkpoint to checkpoint. So from one checkpoint, we'll play it, and then after the checkpoint's done, we'll come back to manifest. We'll try to generate the checkpoint we just did, see the quality of that. So now you guys have more belief on how good this game could be. From there, we fine tune together. If there's anything missing, you'll see that I add that. And then hopefully after that time, we're in Steam release. You guys have it in your hands too. And now we're doing, like I said, this parasocial relationship where you're telling me exactly what the fuck you want through streams, through Discord, and we're just talking about how this platform could be better each day. I keep building in front of you. Building in public is important, and we just keep doing our thing. And that is the move. That's basically how I want to do this, you know? So almost there. We got a few more days, 7 days to be exact, not even. We got 6 days and like 1 hour and 6 minutes. So got some things to do on that time frame, but we'll get it done. Not worried at all. So this has been the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be back with more stuff. Tomorrow I may stream earlier, or it may be the same time. I don't know. The later the better, because that means I did more shit. The earlier means I probably got a lot of shit done, but it ain't all done. You know what I mean? So expect me around 8 or 9 o'clock tomorrow, and then I'll show you some more shit on how this works. We'll get this stuff done and keep rocking. Like always, stay smiling, stay happy, stay being you, and I'll be back tomorrow. All right, peace.